Mike Hoss, along with Saints Executive Vice President and General Manager Mickey Loomis. And as they say, a win is a win. And if you end the 7-game slide, you beat the Atlanta Falcons 20-17, and a team that struggled in that 7-game slide to close games. And you look at this one and you go, oh my gosh, one of the most difficult to close. Didn't play your best football in the second half, but Tyrann Mathieu, that interception, Chase Young, that sack fumble. When you needed to have a huge play defensively, you got it.
Yeah, look, we've had, I think, 4 games now with the defense on the field at the end of the game, and had a couple bad breaks in a couple of those games, but we were able to close this one out. Big play by Tyrann. As you mentioned, a big sack by Chase Young, and really some good plays by a number of guys, including some guys that haven't played a lot of football for us this year that were out there because of some other players that are injured and couldn't go. So, look, it's always great to beat the Falcons, number one. That's a game that I know our fans and all of us circle every year. Beat the division opponent, beat the rival. So that was good, and they've been playing good football. They've won a number of games now, and they're a good football team, but felt like we played really well, particularly in the first half. We had some things happen in the second half, maybe that, we didn't get going as good as we wanted to offensively, but there was a lot of good things.
You watched, obviously, from, a part of it. I shouldn't say watch, but you watched as Coach Rizzi took the reins last week, and he said it exactly. I'm not here to hold on to the reins, and the amount of change was significant. You can't fake what he did. You can't fake who he is, and that kind of excitement, except for the Peyton Turner kind of congratulations, was just special.
Look, I think this, when you have a midseason change, and this goes for any team, you're going to get a little bump in emotion, right? And I thought Rizzi did a great job of accentuating that, of having some tangible things that were different relative to the week, the preparation. I think he stated some things verbally that needed to be stated. Talked a lot about accountability and being all in and having a different mindset for the week, and accentuating that. Yeah, and I think most importantly, our team responded to that this week. And look, we got some guys back as well that made a difference, and ended up with a win and a close game.
You talked about a lot of those guys, some of the guys that hadn't been. Marquez Valdez-Scantling had the 2 touchdowns. Now, he had joined the team on October 15th, didn't play Denver, but he was still working out with Derek. So he still was kind of getting some of that timing. But that, the 3 catches, 2 touchdowns, because you didn't have Cedric, you didn't have Olave. I mean, those were huge.
Yeah, look, I'm guessing that most of our fans didn't know who Marquez was before the game. They certainly do now. He made 3 huge plays, really, because he had 2 explosive plays and then the touchdown. I thought Kevin Austin made a couple of nice plays in the game, 2 big catches for first downs in critical situations. Just a lot of guys stepped up. We had some guys on defense as well. Ugo, who's been here and been a good player for us, has had the opportunity to play and made a lot of nice plays. Shamar, so we've just had some guys that stepped in and did their job. And then we had some guys that we've had that have been playing that just did a little bit more, and that's what it takes.
Younghoe Koo, 1 for 4. I'm going to ask a question, but it's not going to be about Younghoe Koo because he wide left on the first, and then Ridgeway blocks the second, coming in from the defense, like the kind of, if you would say, the offensive left side, defensive right side, and then on the third one, they all flipped to the other side. So the question is really about, it felt like to me that defensively, special teams were impacting his kicks more than necessarily his kicks.
Look, I think that happens a lot in our league when guys do miss. There's just because you don't necessarily block a kick doesn't mean you don't affect it. And I felt like our field goal block team did a good job at affecting kicks. Now, I'm also it feels like that nobody ever misses a kick against us, particularly in the dome.
That's the way I feel. And especially Younghoe Koo.
Right, no question. It felt good that finally somebody missed some field goals at the Superdome. in terms of our opponent.
Take me through the final two plays. They've got no timeouts. Did you think they were going for it on fourth, or they'd run Koo out? Just take me through the final third and whatever it was, 3rd and 29, and then the final play.
Yeah, well, they got a nice gain on 3rd down. I thought maybe they might try to run the field goal team out there and kick what would have amounted to a 61 or 62-yard field goal, but they didn't. They tried to get a first down, and look, our guys did a good job of tackling and making sure that they didn't get to the first down marker on a short throw. And I thought we had good pressure on the quarterback in that last series or two. And those are the kinds of plays that sometimes they get made, and Kirk Cousins has made a lot of those plays at the end of the game to put them in a position to win a game. They did it last time in Atlanta. Made some plays on their last drive to get themselves into field goal range, and this time our defense stepped up and made a couple big plays.
Talk to Jari a little bit about and talked actually last night to Coach John Benton about the offensive line, and I was curious about your thoughts on Trevor Penning and just his confidence level, and if you've watched it kind of grow through this season.
Yeah, well, I think when you look at, I always try to look at what are the positive things that have happened during the course of a season, even when we're 3-7. I think one of the positives is, man, I can see the development of a really good offensive line down the road. We've got a rookie left tackle who's done some good things. We've got, I know we've got a top flight center in Eric McCoy when he's available. We've got a developmental left guard in Nick Saldiveri. I think Lucas Patrick has played well when he's been available. Caesar's a really solid player, and the arrow's up on him. And then Trevor has made a lot of progress this year. And each week, I feel like our offensive line coaches, John Benton and Rick Dennison, they've spent a lot of time and effort working with Trevor, working on lots of fundamentals, as well as his mental preparation for the game. And you can see the progress. It's not there yet. It's not where we need it to be ultimately, but you can see the progress. And I feel like, and this is a better question for his coaches than me, I just feel like he's gaining confidence, and each week, we see plays and we see progress.
So here comes Cleveland. They come in off of a bye week, and it's always tough to face a team coming off of their bye week. They're not playing very well, 2-7. You face one of your former quarterbacks in Jameis Winston, and all you have to kind of look at when you look at the Jameis situation is, well, they beat Baltimore, I believe it was week 8, because they were off week 10. So he's 3 touchdowns, no picks, and they win the game. And then the next game, he's got 1 touchdown and 3 picks. And so, and the last time you played Cleveland, Joe Woods was the defensive coordinator for Cleveland. Yeah. Now he's the defensive coordinator for you guys. So as much as they change, sometimes they stay the same. But those two things, them beating Baltimore, Jameis, and open week is enough to get anybody's attention.
Yeah, look, they've got a talented team, and look, they're desperate for a win, just like we are, and so they've got a really good coaching staff, and look, they've had some injuries, they've had some things bounce the wrong way, much like we have, and yet they're going to be desperate for a win, and we have to match that intensity and put our best foot forward and play. We're going to have to play a really good game to get a win, like you have to do every week in the NFL.
And same thing from a Coach Rizzi standpoint, just you kind of, as much change. I know he loved the change last week, but, just keep doing what you're doing. And, he made some changes to the practice schedule, really put the computers to work on speed of practice. And so, just same type thing, right?
Yeah, look, I think the challenge is look, there was a lot of positive energy last week. Culminated in a win against Atlanta, and the challenge this week is to maintain that level of energy, maintain that level of preparation, and carry that into Sunday. And look, that's the challenge every week from here on out.